Hello, guys. Let's give a few minutes to for others to join in, and then we'll start. All right. Hello, all. Some known faces. Happy to meet the rest of you too. I'll introduce myself. My name is Praveen. I'm from training department, and I'll be handling soft skill for you guys. That is an objective for us. In all this, in terms of the crash course that we are planning for the next few weeks, the objective is to get ourselves a step further towards a successful interviewing process. We'll start somewhere for that. We have to start somewhere for that. Where will we start? Any idea for a successful interview process, not just an interview? Where do you start? I want answers, please. Hello, guys, please respond. I'm not gonna keep quiet and let you, go through the session sleeping. Please, I'm gonna call out names then. A lot of known faces. Praveen Kumar Reddy, are you there? Mr. Praveen Kumar Reddy, please unmute and say yes, please. Right. Others, I'm asking this question to all of you. What do you think is the first step when it comes to preparing towards an interview process? Communication skills from Sai Revati. Good attempt. Any other answers for this? Aptitude. Right. Anything else? Any other answers here? Self introduction. Right. What else? Getting prepared to attend all rounds in interview. Proper dress code. Okay. Before all of this, trust me, before all of this, get your resume in order. That's the first step, I think. Why do you think it's important? Because resumes are the written document that you're providing an organization. When you say written document, you can't change it once you submit it. So before submission, you will have to ensure there is no mistakes and there is no lies and it is properly formatted. All these things need to be taken care of. So, and hence, the first thing that we will discuss is about resume writing. And then tomorrow, group discussion, and then next, we'll discuss about interviews itself. So, to start with, resume writing. First thing first, what do you think is a resume? Or we'll make it interesting. What do you think is the difference between a resume and a CV? Anyone? Yes, Harsha. Go on. Anyone? Ashwini? Guys, can you hear me? I want you guys to speak up. Yes, I'm asking you. என்ன கேட்டிங்களா? We're discussing about resume writing. I would want to understand. We have people joining even now. All right. So resume. When you start writing a resume, what are the things that you will have to keep in mind? Yes, Praveen, you have an answer. Aishwarya. Yes, go on. Okay. Right. Career objective. Okay. Achievements. Strengths and weaknesses. Educational qualifications. Yes. Preferences. Differences. Difference in what? What do you mean? Can you elaborate? I didn't understand, so I'm asking. References. Okay. Anything else? All right. Resume. Okay. Anything else? A lot of answers, and I'm happy that you are answering. In the chat column, getting prepared to all rounds of interview, proper dress code, strengths and weaknesses, qualifications. Resume is a single page of content. CV is of 2 to 3 pages of content. All of you are right. I'm happy about it. Resume is the shortest form of a document which provides basic information about you to the organization, to the interviewer. When it comes to CV, curriculum vitae, it is in detail, explanation about yourself, about your job, about your education, everything in detail, not just mentioning your education. In resume, you will be saying, you'll maybe put a tableau column which says 10th, 12th, and engineering. And then you have your specialization courses, school or institution name, and then finally the percentage. This is something in resume, but whereas in a CV, everything is explained in detail. So there is a difference in terms of how do you project your information. So that's the basic difference between resume and CV. We are concentrating on resume right now, not the other one. The reason we are concentrating on a resume is, as of now, a resume is something which is sufficient to project your information. Let's say 10 years from now, you have worked in 2 to 3 companies by then you will need a CV, because you'll have a lot of explanation to be done about what is the job that you have done, what are the projects that you've been part of, what is a role that you have managed over the period of time, what is the current role, what is that you're looking for. Everything can be mentioned in the CV, but in the resume you don't have to mention anything in detail. So obviously the size or the length of the resume is shorter, maximum of 1.5 2 pages, and for a fresher 1 page is absolutely sufficient. Even if it goes beyond 1 page, that's fine, but then not more than 1.5 pages is what you need to keep in mind. So in that case, the next important thing about a resume is how to select a template or a format. So based on the information that you want to project, you will decide on a template or a format. That's absolutely vital. The reason why I'm talking about a, template or a format right now, resume template or a format right now, is I have seen many resumes with crazy ideas uh, in the format of a in the form of a template. Um, but then not necessarily those templates are professional, right? When you provide a resume to a HR or to anybody for that matter, when you are attending an interview, they should not look at it and think anything beyond okay a decent resume. That's all they should think. They should not think about, oh, very attractive, it has colors, it has used various fonts. That should not be the idea that you have to project. It has to be absolutely clear. You make it very clear that the resume is professional, nothing more, nothing less. So how do you go ahead and do that? So basic is having a proper font used. So what are the fonts that one may use? Any idea about that in a resume? Anyone? What do you think is a good font? Times New Roman. Yes. What else? Anything else? Arial. Yes. Calibri. These are the major three that people use in a resume or for any official purposes. Um, Imagine you start doing a resume in your laptop, and then you started checking various other fonts that are available. I'm not saying you can't use it or something, but then it has to look professional. You can't use something like Comic Sans, right? You understand what I mean? It has to be professional. Ensure it is properly formatted, and look for spelling mistakes. Basics needs to be covered. Spelling mistakes are a strict no-no, right? If you have any doubts, let's say there is a doubt regarding a particular word, check it. Check it couple of times, and if you think you made a mistake, correct it before going for a final. Yes, Calibra, yes. Before going in for a print or a final resume that you need to submit, ensure you go through your resume minimum 5 to 10 times. Find out if there is any error or mistakes. Give your resume to somebody that you trust. Ask them to go through the resume and then find mistakes if there is any. That is a major point that you need to look at. And there are things that you should include in a resume, and there are things that you should not include in a resume. and there are things which you need not include. So that is a difference. வேணவே வேணாம், இது கண்டிப்பாக இருக்கக்கூடாதுன்றது ஒன்று, தேவையில்லை அப்படிங்கிறது ஒன்று. ஸோ யூ வில் ஹாவ் டு அண்டர்ஸ்டாண்ட் தீஸ் nuances and then come up with your resume. So what all do you think are not needed in a resume? Please answer. தேவையே இல்லை, not needed. Reference, not needed. Father name, mother name, siblings, relationship status, தயவு செஞ்சு போடாதீங்க. We all know none of you are married. Seriously. அலைப்பாய்தையெல்லாம் இங்கே கேட்கல, பட் ஐம் டாக்கிங் அபவுட் officially. We don't need those information. Siblings, தேவையில்லை. Language is known, தேவையா? Is it important? I'm asking. Language is known. Yes. Yes. Do you think if the number of languages you know counts for this? See, I'm a Tamilian. Let's say I have to come up with a resume, and I know two languages, Tamil and English. Is it necessary for me to mention that? No, absolutely no. It is not mandatory. You can mention, but it is not mandatory to mention if it is just the basic, couple of languages. Um, People are students. You guys are from other states as well. People are from Andhra Pradesh, Telangana, maybe Kerala, and they know their native language and English, and that's it. Then it becomes not so mandatory. It becomes, if you want to, you can. But then, let's say if you have more than two languages that you are proficient in, then please do mention, because it becomes an added advantage. Let's say you know a Hindi, you know a third language, you know an international language, you need to definitely mention. How many of you are learning international language right now? That is invaluable information that you need to mention in a resume. Let's say a German, Japanese, right? Please do mention. Uh, these are the aspects that you will have to decide for yourself. And then what need not be mentioned? Your soft skills. I am a hard worker. I am a smart worker. தயவு செஞ்சு வேணாம். ப்ளீஸ்டா, தயவு செஞ்சு வேணாம். த ரீசன் இருக்குது அதுக்கு. என்னன்னா, லெட்ஸ் சே நீங்கள் வந்து சாஃப்ட் ஸ்கில் மென்ஷன் பண்ணுறீங்க. ஹார்ட் ஒர்க்கா, ஸ்மார்ட் ஒர்க்கா, கம்யூனிகேஷன் சூப்பர் அப்படின்னா ஏதோ மென்ஷன் பண்ணிட்டீங்கன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க ரெசுமேல. The HR, once that person goes through your resume, there'll be questions based on your resume. 70% of the questions will be based on what you put up in the resume for a fresher. So let's say நீங்கள் அந்த மாதிரி போடும்போது the questions will be, why do you think you are strong in communication? Why do you think you are a smart worker? Why do you think you are a hard worker? Give me an instance where you worked hard and achieved something. அந்த மாதிரி கேட்டுருவாங்க. What will be your answer? If you are prepared, nothing like it. செம. If you are not prepared to answer these, don't mention such things in your resume. Am I making my point clear? You are giving an opportunity for the interviewer to put you in a spot. உங்களை வந்து நோண்டுறதுக்கு ஒரு ஒரு ஆப்பர்ச்சுனிட்டி நீங்களே ப்ரொவைட் பண்ணுற மாதிரி ஆகிடும். வேர் யூ வில் பி இன் அ சிச்சுவேஷன் வேர் the interviewer would have asked a question based on what you have mentioned in a resume, but then you don't have an answer for it. That is a sad thing. So please ensure you don't give such extra information, needless information in the resume, and then that provides the interviewer to come up with questions which will put you in a bad light. So ensure that is not done. Reference is a strict no these days. You don't have to mention those things. If they ask you, is there anybody working in this organization, then you can mention. You don't have to mention reference in the resume. Not needed. Objective. தேவையா? As I said, if it is your own objective, mention that. Don't copy paste it in your resume from anyone else's resume, or from Google for resume objectives and போட்டு பண்ணாதீங்க. Google search பண்ணி போடாதீங்க. Don't do that. You write your own objective. Objective need not be uh, uh, sophisticated statements. It can be simple statements. You can clearly mention what your objective is. That if you don't want to, that's fine as well. என்ன சார் இப்படி சொல்றீங்க? A lot of people are saying objectives are a must, mandatory. Yeah, people do have various views on it, but then in general, objectives in a resume is outdated, பழசு, old, not a current thing. So it is not mandatory. You can mention, but then ensure that the objective is personal to you. Personal உங்களோட personal objective இல்ல. Hope you understand what I mean. It is your objective, not someone else's objective that you copy pasted here. That's something which you need to mention. So your objective, then you can explain. When someone asks you what is your objective, then you can talk about the objective that you mentioned. So that's something which is very, very, very important. Um, Careful about unnecessary information. Careful about lies that you mention. Please do not mention any lie in the resume. அப்போ ஓகே, இன்டர்வியூவில் லை பண்ணலாமா, பொய் சொல்லலாமா? கேன் ஐ லை இன் அன் இன்டர்வியூ? You can't actually, but then you can hide certain facts. But then in a resume, you don't have to lie, or you don't have to hide anything. Just be careful about what you put in a resume, because it goes as a written document. You can always be asked to explain what you mention in a resume. Interview முடிஞ்ச உடனே resume goes for a trash கிடையாது. It goes into your personal file of the organization. So whenever there is a need, they can revisit your resume and then check your credentials. Let's say someone asked, can we mention our special skill sets, technical skills? Yes, absolutely yes. But then if you don't have that skill, if you don't know something technically, if you are not good at it technically, then don't mention it. Again, it can affect you during the course of an interview, and also after the interview. After, let's say, you selected, even after that, at some point they're looking at your resume. Hey, nee in the program you have mentioned you are very strong, can you work in this project? They might ask you. Or during an interview itself, oh, you are strong in this, okay, let me ask you a couple of questions in that. Unless otherwise you are sure about your technical skills or any other skill that you are good at, do not mention that as your skill set in a resume. You should be confident about the skill sets that you are mentioning in the resume. Do not lie. They'll easily find out. We'll talk about this in detail when you are talking during interviews, interview skills, right? So these are the basics. What else need to be discussed about a resume? What you have to include in a resume, that is absolutely vital. Again, the floor is open. Please answer. What are the basic things that needs to be 100% included in a resume, guys? Achievements. What else? Educational qualification. Ashwini. Yes. What else? What else, guys? Hobbies. Projects worked in. Right. What else? Achievements. What is it? Papers published. Yes. What else? Area of interest, skills, contact details. Yes. What else? Projects, other interests, areas of interest. Yes. Anything else? Whatever you have given most probably covers almost everything. We'll just summarize all these things. First thing is your personal information. Personal information again doesn't mean your marital status, relationship status, your father's occupation, mother's occupation, and homemaker, and your siblings. My brother is doing his sixth standard. தேவையே இல்லை, not needed. Personal information is your contact details, your phone number, your address, your email ID. I think we spoke about email IDs. Please be careful when you give your email IDs, right? Did we talk about it in today's class about email IDs? No, right. I have in my time as a HR, I have seen uh, in resumes people mentioning their email IDs as Sweetheart 2019, right? Handsome hunk, dude, makale, that's the last thing you will do. Your email IDs must be professional, which is nothing but your name plus some year, some number, and at the rate of Gmail ID. Do not have anything impersonal or something not professional. Please do not do that. Sorry, sir, I'm using this email ID sweetheart 2010 for a long time. I will only use that abdina. When you look at a resume, the HR or the technical person will look at your email ID and then it will look ugly. So so please do not use such email IDs. Your email ID must be very, very professional. If you do not have one already, create one and keep it and start using it for your professional life. So this is in terms of your personal information. When it comes to educational information, again, your 10th, your 12th, your college information, basics. Do not go in detail. Um, what else? What else need to be mentioned? I think these are the major two. And then comes the other information, whatever you said, your achievements. Um, you can mention your achievements, your awards, paper submissions, seminars attended, all these things you can definitely mention. And then your skills, technical skills, please mention. As I already mentioned, if you are confident, mention them. But then I am not saying if you are not confident, mention பண்ணாதீங்க அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு இப்பயே சொல்லிடல. Just prepare yourself starting now. One or two technical skills, get it. You become really strong. You learn. Try harder and have these strong inputs to be given in a resume. Work towards it. The reason is maybe those skill sets may not be directly useful for the interviewer or their organization. But then what they realize from your skill sets is they look at your skill set and then they'll definitely ask a few questions in terms of your technical skills that you have mentioned. They'll ask questions about how do you do this, write a program for this, write something. See, they're going to ask you something related to your technical skill that you have mentioned. But if you can do a good job by in terms of answering those technical questions, nothing like it, even though that particular skill may not be useful for them, the idea that they will get is okay, this person, if given a training, will pick up on a particular skill and then we can utilize. What if you mention a particular skill and you cannot answer any technical question? The answer is pretty obvious. They will understand, the interviewer will understand, okay, the சும்மா போட்டிருக்காரு, but then he or she is not strong. Maybe not a good candidate. That's the idea that they will come up with. So please ensure whatever skill set that you mention in your resume, brush up those skills before you go for an interview and be prepared to answer any kind of question related to the technical stuff that you're mentioning. um, Almost ran out of time. So any questions? Nothing? No. Lot of nausea. Right. Remember, I think I already mentioned, you have to submit your resume by end of the day, which is by 12 midnight tonight. You'll have to submit a resume. I'll be sending a PowerPoint presentation, a very short one, 3-4 pages only, to you. You can use that as resume writing tips and then submit it. I will assess those submissions and then come back with corrections later. And after which you will submit one more resume at the end of the course, maybe after 10 days or something like that. You'll come up with another resume. But then before tonight, you will have to submit a resume. Is it clear? All right. Sir, no laptop. I don't have a laptop too, guys. Those things are not an answer for you. Please somehow get your resumes to me by midnight. I will be sending my email ID or any other means for you to submit the resume, which will have to uh, which has to be by today, by tonight. So that is very very important. Okay. Right. Any questions? Any clarifications? And before leaving, remember, please mention your register number and your name in the chat box. Start now. You can send it and then you can leave. Your register number and your name in the chat box, please. If you have sent it, you can leave the meeting. Don't forget to send though. Send it and then leave. Bye. Thank you. Thank you, Aisha. If you have sent it, you can leave. You don't have to wait. Harsha, Dharani, Satwik. Have you guys sent it?